Hello everyone. Okay, I've been having some audio issues, but welcome back. And I cannot find Magnemite, okay? I'm just really annoyed because this editing's taking forever and I cannot get the volume on this thing to work. So here we are talking about how cloning Mew and getting Mewtwo has some actual scientific purpose backing up, because it is actually possible in science. Now, in the real world, it's not really possible to clone Pokemon, but in the Pokemon world, it is, because Pokemon actually exist there. Now, just for younger audiences, do not watch this if you do not know the biology of how a newborn is born, okay? Sorry, I'm just really annoyed today, so yeah, not really in the best mood, trying to get as close up to this freaking dumb webcam as possible, because I can't freaking use this one. Still won't connect. My computer's like upgrading like crazy, trying to figure out what it's supposed to do here. So let's just get started on what somatic cell nuclear transplant is. Somatic cell nuclear transplant, basically you get the nucleus of one species and put it in the egg of a said species of the same species but without the nucleus, or of a species similar to said species, and basically it would fertilize and it would become the clone of whatever the nucleus was. Now, a sheep's been done. They also cloned a mouse. They have also cloned a horse. They have also cloned an extinct frog species that gives birth in a really weird way. Now they're working on bringing back, or they're working on cows, for their beef quality. And they're also working on bringing back woolly mammoths from the dead because they found blood samples, and that is awesome. So with that information, all the scientists in the Pokemon world need is to find some DNA evidence and sample of Mew, and a really good one, because DNA does not last very long. It decomposes like every other natural organism and stuff like that. So best way that scientists have figured out today is white blood cells. It's like the best way to get it, get the nucleus of it. And the nucleus, if you don't remember from biology, is kind of like the brain of this cell. It's kind of like in charge of everything around it. So, yeah. Now, in the Pokemon world, they use a Mew fossil, but it was glowing or something like that. But let's just say in this scenario, they actually find Mew and get a blood sample from it. Now, the problem is that Mew is genderless. So how are we going to get an egg? And of what species of egg can we use since Mew is genderless? Well, we would have to use a Ditto egg, since Ditto is non-genderless and also contains DNA of other Pokemon, since it can transform and can also breed with other non-genderless Pokemon. So we just use Ditto egg, Mew nucleus, put them together. Oh, remove Ditto nucleus, put in Mew nucleus, and bam, we got it. Got it. Now, warning you, cloning is not 100% copy of the said species. Cloning is actually a 98% perfect copy. So it's not really perfect, it's like a 98 copy percent. It used to actually be slightly like 96, 94 around that time. And if a said species was not cloned very well, could be some accidents. It would suffer slight mutation, so there would be slight differences of it, and it would mutate. Probably why Mewtwo looks so different, besides Giovanni wanting it to be more powerful than Mew. Which probably explains why the second brain stem and everything, which is freaking me out here. Sorry. So, yeah, that could probably explain why Mewtwo is slightly different. Plus, some say Mewtwo's name is a joke for mutant. Mewtwo, mutant. I don't see it, but anyway, that's what it is, and that's basically the science behind the properties of cloning Mew into Mewtwo. it's been possible since the real world has been able to clone so many different species and more plants since it's much easier. Now, if someone out here in the real world were somehow able to clone actual Pokemon, you're gonna face some trouble. You're gonna face a whole bunch of legal stuff that it's gonna be hard. Okay, like if you somehow figure it out, there's gonna be that thing's gonna be on the news as soon as someone figures it out. And with social media, it's gonna be out there eventually someday. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? But if said scientist or fan or slash fan of Pokemon was able to clone a living Pokemon, Pocket Monster, you would suffer like there's gonna be a whole bunch of issues. First of all, if you live in the U.S., you're gonna have to kill it. Yeah, cloning is banned in the U.S. A while ago, some scientists were doing a cloned embryo, and they were surprised it was alive. So they literally had like they could have made a clone baby, but it was the U.S., so they had to kill it. They were even surprised it was alive. So they were just experimenting on speeding up cloning by using caffeine. So yeah, that. So if you were going to clone Pokemon, you probably have to do it in one of the Asian countries since they allow cloning. But normally the cloning they're working on is with cows, just livestock. So who knows exactly what their opinion is on it. So besides, and there's a whole bunch of religious stuff that you're probably gonna have to face since some people, such as Christians, Christian scientists, you know, they're like they think cloning isn't holy, and some of them don't even like Pokemon because Pokemon talks about the evolution. So they don't like Pokemon because of evolution. They don't like cloning. Put them together, just be like, oh, I'm gonna hate on that. They gotta hate. They just gotta hate. And then PETA is gonna be like all over the whole cloning Pokemon thing. How genetic mutations and how it's unholy and like Mother Earth doesn't want that. And PETA and Christian scientists are gonna just be all over that as soon as you like clone Pokemon, if it was ever even possible to do it in the real world. So for future scientists or scientists who are also a fan of Pokemon and are somehow for some reason working on cloning Pocket Monsters, good luck to you if you're ever gonna do it. Good luck to you. Have it well trained. My advice: clone a Poochyena or an Eevee. That is just my advice. Or a Pidove, or a Pidgey, maybe Swallow. Basically, bird, dog, Pokemon, because they just look so much like the actual thing. Especially Poochyena, since Poochyena actually learns dog-like attacks like Crunch and Tackle. You know, so that's just my advice. My advice: go with Pokemon that looks incredibly so much like an animal, so that no one can tell the difference. Just be like that. That way you don't have to kill it if you live in the U.S. or if PETA and like a bunch of government and religious people are up against you. That's just my advice. So yeah, but for someone who wants Pokemon but they don't want to do the whole cloning and like actual organism, there's always the artificially man-made Pokemon for you to make. So you can always try to attempt making Magnemite, which I really wish was in this episode, but I can't find them. You can try making Porygon, and his evolution, Magnemite and his evolution, Mentang and Metagross evolution. You can try that. They're all robots, artificially made Pokemon. And technically, the Deoxys is a living computer virus, but I don't know how the hell that would ever be made. So, thanks for watching. I just wanted to explain. I was doing some research, and I was really interested how the cloning of Mew into Mewtwo had actual like was actually based on science and how it technically could be done. I found it kind of interesting, which really makes you kind of appreciate Pokemon, how they're doing their homework, like they're doing their work, just like, oh, I like that, let's put something like that in Pokemon, especially Kalos region with all their cultural stuff in there. You just gotta love all that hard work they're putting into that game. So hope Pokemon is a long living company, doing it for the art, not the money. And, see you guys next time. And if you somehow are able to clone a living Pokemon, you know, put in the comments and like put some pictures online. I would like to see that. Unless it's like incredibly creepy. Do not make human looking Pokemon. My advice also there, do not make Jinx. The world does not need that. No. So see you guys, click like, subscribe, check out some other videos. Or don't. I don't really want you to care. Go outside, turn off your computer, play around. I don't care, man. I don't care what you do after this. Just see ya. Don't forget to catch them all.